Good morning, YouTube, BookTube. This is Johnny. It's a Sunday morning here in West Michigan. It is 7:22 in the morning. It's beginning to get light outside. It is March the 21st, Sunday. Thought I'd do a video. I went to the thrift store the other day and I had some books. I want to get them down the lower level, get them out of the living room. So I thought I'd show them to you. Just a few things. I did get university books, academic. They had a sale, and you can get a book for $3 that used to cost $20. And so I saw a couple, and I got those in the mail yesterday. This is an InterVarsity academic book, Saving Calvinism, Expanding the Reformed Tradition by Oliver D. Crisp. Yeah, this goes for $3. I don't know how much it goes for retail, but I was reading that last night before I went to bed. Then there's a series. I have a bunch of these down the lower level, but I didn't have these it's in the series. It's The Message of Worship, The Bible Speaks Today by John Brigger. I have a whole, probably maybe 10, 12 of these downstairs. There's a whole series. They have them on the Bible too. The Bible Speaks Today on Galatians. The Bible Speaks Today on Corinthians. But this one's on worship. I didn't have this one. And they had this one. I didn't have either. This is The Message of the Holy Spirit The Bible Speaks Today by Keith Warrington. These are, I used to buy them all the time and read them. They're a really good series. They're not, they're evangelical. Like they have The Message of the Living God by Peter Lewis, The Message of the Resurrection by Paul Measley Murray, The Message of the Cross by Derek Timball, The Message of Salvation by God's Grace, by God's Glory, The Message of Heaven and Hell, Grace and Destiny by Bruce Milne. These are all conservative evangelicals. So it's a good series, so I got those. And then I picked up this, excuse me, this book, Wesley and the Anglicans, Political Division in Early Evangelicalism by Ryan Nicholas Danker. It's church history. I just picked up Charles Wesley's sermons, an anthology at a thrift store, and I have other books on John and Charles Wesley. So I got those in the mail yesterday. So these are the books I picked up at a thrift store. This is a Memoir, Red Brick, Black Mountain and Gray Clay by Christopher Benfey. This is a notable book, New York Times of the year. This is Red Brick, Black Mountain, White Clay, Reflections on Art, Family, and Survival. And I have two other books by Christopher Benfey. This is one of them. I couldn't find the other one. This is the other book I have by Christopher Benfey. The Summer of Hummingbirds, Love, Art, and Scandal in the Intersecting Worlds of Dickinson, Mark Twain, Harriet Beecher Stowe, and Martin Johnson Heade. I have another book of his, which I can't find down the lower level, Degas in New Orleans. I looked and looked for that book, could not find it. So I have this book, and this is about, it says here, an unforgettable voyage across the reaches of America and the depths of memory. This generational memoir of one incredible family reveals America's unique craft tradition In Red Brick, Black Mountain, White Clay, renowned critic Christopher Benfey shares stories of his mother's upbringing in Royal, North Carolina, among the centuries-old folk potteries of his father's escape from Nazi Europe and his great aunt and Joseph Abers, famously exiled at Black Mountain College, unearthing an ancestry and aesthetic that is quintessentially American. With the grace of a novelist and the eye of an historian, Benfey threads these stories together into a radiant and memorizing harmony. Yeah, I have a little book, Black Mountain Poets, Understanding by Edward Heasley Foster, and in this book, his grandparents are mentioned. So I got that. And then I picked up a novel by Brian Moore. Brian Moore is a writer I collect. I've not read him, but over the years I've read good reviews about his books. And I have 2 other books by him. The Black Robe by Brian Moore and The Musician's Wife by Brian Moore. And then I found this one. Excuse me, I gotta drink some coffee. I got something in my throat. Yeah, The Statement by Brian Moore. This sun-drenched landscape of the south of France is the setting of this chilling tale of crime, pursuit, and punishment. Here, almost 50 years after the Second World War and the Allied victory, Pierce Bronsard has been a man on the run, condemned in the absentia to death for his heinous and war crimes, but protected by friends in the highest offices of the French government and the church. He has become an artist of escape, moving like a fox to the underground, turning the tables on those who would deliver a death sentence on him. Then it goes on. Anyway, I start just collecting his writings, and so now I have The Black Robe by Brian Moore and The Musician's Wife. He wrote a lot of books, at least 20 novels. You notice here, it says up here, there's a little quote here on top here by a fellow named Edmund D. Will. Well, he wrote this little book, The Hare and the Amber Eyes, A Hidden Inheritance. And this is also a family memoir written with a grace and modesty that almost belie the sweep of content. Proust rake Japanese art, the Rue de Marquet, Vienna during the Second World War, the most enchanting history lesson imaginable, quoting the New Yorker. So check this out, it's really interesting. Another family memoir. And then I picked up Medieval Art, 2nd edition by Marilyn Stokstad. It's just a book on medieval art. I collect books on art, medieval art. Then I picked up a novel by John Crowley, who I collect his writings. I have a huge stack of his writings down the lower level. And this is his famous novel, Little Big by John Crowley. Up here there's a quote from Harold Bloom. I always regularly reread a book that I wish more people would read. Little Big, it is literally the most enchanting 20th century book I know. Harold Bloom. This is my second copy I have of this. It's supposed to be like a fantasy novel. John Crowley, masterful Little Big, is the epic story of Smokey Barnable, an anonymous young man who travels by foot from the city to a place called Edgewood, not found on any map, to marry Daily Alice Drinkwater, as was prophesied. It is the story of 4 generations of a singular family living in a house that is many houses on the magical borders of an other world. It is a story of fantastic love and heart-rending loss, of impossible things, unshakable destinies, and the great tale that envelops us all. It is a wonder. I like the way it's printed. It's really interesting how it's published. But anyway, I got that. Then I picked up this table book on the Hearst Castle there in California. Hearst Castle, a biography of a country house by Victoria Kastner. The Hearst Castle is very famous there in California, and this is the biography of it. It has all these photos of this luxurious and about his life. William Hearst. Just the reason why I got this is I have 2 biographies on Hearst. I have this one, The Chief, The Life of William Randolph Hearst. And this is by David Nanshaw. And then I have this one, Citizen Hearst by W.A. Swinburne. I was reading parts of this the other night. I read about 20 pages. This is his other biography. This was a finalist, the National Book Critics Circle Award for a biography. I like reading biographies to get when I look at American history. And he was a prominent figure in American history from I don't know what years he was born. I can't remember. But so I got this. I found this at the Salvation Army about his castle. It was very. In his day, he was a very powerful man. So I got that to go with my William Randolph Hearst collection. So those are the books I got at thrift stores, the books I got in the mail. Check out John Crowley's books. He has a lot of them, and they're all worth reading from what I've read. Red Brick, Black Mountain, White Clay, a memoir by Christopher Benfey. And this novel by Brian Moore, The Statesman. I also got back out last night this New York Review book, the Gray Notebook by Joe Play. He was a Caledonian writer. This is his notebooks. I ordered another book by him that's coming in the mail, The Life in Bitter. It's more like memoir. I was reading this last night. I get this out. You can read it because it's just a notebooks. It's not. It's nonfiction. It's like a memoir. His notebooks written in 1918, just around the time of the First World War. So that's it. I just thought I'd show you these books. Today is a Sunday. My wife gets home this afternoon for being gone. Life should go back to normal. It's supposed to be a sunny day here. So hope you had a good weekend. And yeah, not much else. I got a book coming in the mail tomorrow. I'll show that in future videos. So until next time, bye.